Let's see what happens. If it works out, he will be here. Ooh, and he is here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go, let's go, let's go. What's up? How you doing, my brother?
What's up, King? How's it going?
I'm chilling, bro. It's 50 degrees. It's Bay Area, but a cloudy 50 with a little bit of wind. It feels like New York. I mean, for us at least here. I hope you're having a fantastic day. I hope there's fantastic weather there for you, my brother.
It is about 70
Ooh.
here in New York. It's been a great week. So a lot of
We flip
outdoor
flop.
stuff, and then coming home, taking a quick shower after some pickup basketball last night, and
Oh.
then straight to playoffs.
Yeah, see,
So
that
it's
sounds
been good.
like a great morning. I don't know what happened. Like we just switched like weathers or what like something's happening,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yep. Yep.
Yep. But how you been though, bro? Like
Good.
just
Good.
perfect.
Just another season. My 13th season covering
Congratulations.
basketball here on
Yes sir,
Courtside
yes sir.
Buzz. Thank you. I
13. That's right.
appreciate it.
Okay.
You
Yep.
know, formerly known as NBA Buzz, and last year made the switch.
Yes sir.
Expanding the business. Just started a new page called Stereo Buzz a couple weeks ago, which is a music and entertainment page. Why I went that route, you got to cover all bases. Whether
Yeah.
the track could be a little obscure in some ways of what you want to accomplish at different times, who comes in, and you know who you make connections with to create more. Next is the baseball page coming up within the
Okay.
next month. So
Okay.
yeah, it's all coming together under Sports Buzz Network.
Yes sir. You guys heard it here first. Sports Buzz Network just growing, ladies and gentlemen, just taking off. You guys don't even know what this man has going on behind the scenes, and you guys can't even think how far this man thinks. But let's get back to basketball a little bit. Let's not bore the people with our stuff. We'll talk about us another time. But let's get back to basketball. First off, I do want to start with the games yesterday.
Yeah.
Firstly, I got to start with the play of the night. Do you think that was a dirty play? Do you think that was a by Amen Thompson on Jimmy Butler? We got to
Yeah.
talk
Yeah.
about that first. And
Yeah.
what?
No, I don't think so. If you saw it, half could be blamed on Draymond, half could be blamed on Amen.
Yeah,
Uh, you know, I kind of tripped up. It's kind of hard to see in between all those bodies what's really going on. If Draymond really pushed him, or did
yeah.
he get tripped on the feet? I think it's
Physicality of the
more
paint.
it's more about the feet. Yeah,
Yeah,
just physicality going down low in a playoff game, and
yeah.
bodies bumping and grinding, and Jimmy just at the wrong airspace at the wrong
Yeah,
time. So
and
it's
he got
unfortunate.
up like
It's
for that
unfortunate.
rebound too, because like before that, like we had just been giving them second chance rebounds and everything. So like he got up for it to kind of get that too.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
went airborne for that to get his legs chopped up too. So
So
yeah, like even as a Warriors fan, I don't think that was a dirty play either. Like
yeah,
both
yeah.
teams were playing really hard. Like I know like some like Warriors fans, they came up with like all the like receipts of like Ime Udoka in the past, like with Marcus Smart in the finals, Al Horford in the finals. Dylan Brooks with the GP, like, shot to the back in that same, like, run. So, like, all of that. But I don't think this was, like, anything malicious or
No,
anything. Like,
I
let's
don't
take
think
it
so
another
either.
way.
Unfortunate for Jimmy,
Yeah. Yeah.
but they're saying it's not as bad as Steph's tailbone injury, so
Yeah.
that could be good. Steph is out a couple weeks, so if Jimmy misses a game, it's close to the end of the world, but it's
Yeah.
not the end of the world.
But also, like, being at home. Okay, so let's just dive into the series a little
Yeah,
bit. So,
yeah.
1-1 now. Game 3 and 4
Hmm.
here in the Bay. So, game 3, I would expect, like, also, we're forgetting Pozemski before the game started. He came up with an illness, whatever. He wasn't 100% either. Like, as a Warriors fan, it's going to sound like an excuse or whatever, but it is the truth. Like, he wasn't 100%. Jimmy, like, 8 minutes into the game, he goes out. Like, that kind of just takes away. The crowd kind of gets into it. Jalen Green started having,
Yeah,
balling out. Like, that kind of takes away from it, too. And then, like, JK comes in, like, a month out from, like, any sort of, like, in-game
exactly. And
basketball to, like, playoff
and
intensity.
to jump on that about Kaminga. He looked like a lost baby deer for at least the first quarter that he, was playing. Just because he hasn't played in forever, that rust he's got to shake off. Looked a little bit better as the game went on. Inconsistent from three. He should have a big role in game three. I could see him dropping, 15 plus to help Steph because that's what they need in place of Jimmy. Like Freaking Pat Spencer dropped 11 points in 9 minutes. It's like
I think he was like the
they're
second or third
they're
leading
clutching at the
scorer.
straws to get something.
And
So yeah, and just want to give a shout out to a couple Courtside Buzz fans down in the comments.
yeah,
Harry Shake 28. I appreciate the support.
there we go. But yeah, bro, like I don't know, like I think once we get back to the home side, get back like all of our players go back to sleeping in their own beds. Maybe they get that sunshine from the Bay Area weather. They feel better about themselves, and hopefully we get a game or two. I mean, I said Warriors in six before the series started. I still stick
Yeah,
with it.
yeah,
Like in
yeah.
that game, I did say like they'll win because they are that good. Like I'm not gonna take anything away from like they are the second seed for a reason. And that's one game I thought like we will have those mental lapses and toss the game
Mhm.
away. Like
I'll
so, I
say
feel
something interesting. You look at last night; they were down about 20 when Jimmy went down.
yeah,
Um, cut that lead to about 10,
it
11,
was getting
and it was
close.
hovering
It was
between
getting
10 and
close.
13
Yeah,
for probably like a quarter
yeah,
of gameplay. So you got to imagine with Jimmy, with more firepower, with the
yeah.
ball moving and not sticking like it was last
Right.
night, it would have been a very close
It would
game,
have been a
maybe with
close
the
game.
Warriors coming out on top. It
Yeah.
would have been different.
Draymond talked about it post game. He said it. He was like, "Hey, like we had a chance. We were right there.
Yep.
It was like 9-11. Like we kept on staying there, but we couldn't get past that hump. And like that's how the game ended. And it just happens like that in the playoffs. It's really that small of a margin.
Yeah, definitely.
Talk about
Most definitely.
small margins. Now let's actually get to the big margins. I mean, Cleveland, Miami. I feel like that's probably a sweep or a gentleman's sweep. Like let's
Listen,
just shake hands.
I gotta say, I know you want to talk about the games last night. There's not much to talk about in those other two
Yeah,
series.
that's what I was gonna say. Like,
Like,
I mean, there's like three series that's pretty much. Let's just
yeah,
keep it
let
moving.
just let it happen. Like, you look at the Boston Magic series. That's a guaranteed sweep. I think.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
I think it could be a gentleman's sweep. Like in
maybe.
Orlando, I don't think KCP goes like 0 for 7. Like that's
Yeah, but KCP's not that big game changing factor that he should be for Orlando. I think a gentleman's sweep would be in Cleveland. Miami really showed up last night. They were in that game, 2 point game
yeah,
with like 2 minutes left.
yeah,
That's hanging in the
right,
balance right there, depending on who gets what to drop. Miami and Hero have been balling out. They've been playing better basketball in the playoffs than they
yeah,
did freaking all
ever,
after Jimmy.
right.
You know what I mean? So got to give them credit there. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know. Not much to really talk about there. We know Cleveland's gonna, be a massive team, and so
Finish
is
it off.
Boston.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, true. And then same thing with OKC and Memphis too. Like I mean,
exactly.
like everything that Shaq has said about like coaching, I feel like that just got refuted with this series. Like they fired their coach. They were a top 3 to 4 team, like pretty much throughout the season, and then like their bottom just fell out. They're the
Yep.
eighth seed now, and like they're about to crash out of the playoffs, and
Well,
like
let
their
that
future is kind of
tell
bleak.
you. Let that tell you how good the OKC Thunder are, and there's still
Yeah.
a ton of haters and non-believers in this team. Dude, their bench is full of
Oh my
starters on other
god.
NBA teams across the league.
If they go
Dagnall's a great
anywhere, they're gonna
coach.
go get 20. They're like Derek White. They're
Exactly. Exactly.
like Derek
Isaiah
White
Joe's a beast. Casey Wallen's a beast from three, a
all
great defender.
day.
And
Yeah.
people keep saying, well, they don't have enough experience. They're too young. Yeah, but they got that experience last year.
True.
They added Alex Caruso and Isaiah Hartenstein to make
Yeah.
that experience happen.
Yeah.
So they are so deep. They're so dangerous. They're going to give every team they match up with headaches. They run and fast break like animals off the defensive end. They
It's
just go out
crazy.
and run.
It's
It's
crazy. And
crazy.
nobody even tries to stop ball with them. Like they know like they'll probably like run through them, whatever, and like they don't want to engage in that physical battle with them either.
Yeah, you
Like
know
they're
what?
the youngest squad and they'll
You got Shea and Jalen Green
yep,
slashing down the middle, running,
that's
a two-man down the lane. You got
yep.
Casey Wallace or Isaiah Joe outside spraying from
Snipers.
three. And then
Yep.
depending on the lineup, you got Chet or Hartenstein
Yeah.
for a lob threat. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. They have like all the options in like each
Yeah.
phases too. It's yeah, and in waves. They're
I'm
it's gonna be interesting.
surprised they're doing this easily to Memphis.
Right.
Like, all right, even with a new coach, the shakeup, everything.
Right.
They still got John Morant, who's an all-star. They still
I
got
mean, yeah,
Jaren
the talent
Jackson,
level is
who's an
still there.
all-star.
I agree.
Desmond Bane's a beast.
Right.
They got
I mean, he gave us.
weapons.
I do believe he still gave us 30 in that like playing game. Like
Yes.
he's still a baller. You know?
It's just, dude, when, like you said, when the bottom falls out, the chemistry closes, and that's what happens. That's what
Yeah.
happens. And if I'll pivot for you based on this comment from Albin Johansson,
Yep.
Clippers winning against the
Interesting.
Thunder easy. I don't know about that, but we got to talk about the Clippers.
Oh, oh my God, we got to talk about the Clippers. I mean, probably the hottest team in LA right now.
It's all Kawhi Leonard, man. Kawhi is going to take them as far as they will go.
Yeah.
James Harden's going to be a little inconsistent like he's been, even though he's been playing good. But it's all up to Kawhi. If he's dropping 30 plus, they're within
It's
5
a
points
wrap.
in
It's
every game they
it's
play.
a wrap. It's a wrap. I feel like he drops 30. Like I feel like I mean now it's like a 20 and 15 from Zubac's. Like yeah, he's gonna get that. Like
Yep.
what? Like till last
Their
year he was like
chemistry,
almost a nobody. Now he's a 20 and 15 getter. Like you know.
their chemistry's great. That's a
Right.
lot of it. Got to give a lot of credit to Jeff Van Gundy as a top assistant coach.
Yeah.
Definitely like the best in the NBA
I
right
mean
now.
their
I mean,
defense
he's a
grows
legend
up with
sliding
them like
into
immensely. Yeah.
exactly. Exactly. He's a legend sliding into a assistant coach role, and now he's got them locked in on defense. And I love Denver, but MPJ is inconsistent. Their depth's a little shaky. Russ has been a little, great, and then what the hell is this guy doing, kind of thing. So I don't know, man.
That's
That's gonna
always
go
been Russ though.
7. That's gonna go 7.
I mean, as just a basketball fan, I hope that goes 7. Like you know, like just so I could watch 7 games of those, like just those guys going at it.
Well, Jokic said that this is the best basketball you're gonna see. So tune
Right,
in, and he's
right,
right.
right.
He's
I
really
mean,
right.
yeah, and like position wise too, like Zubac and Jokic, like that
Hmm.
European connection between their countries playing against each other. They know
Yeah.
like each other's moves and everything. Like you know, like all of that kind of like storylines betting into it. So beautiful. And then the like you said with Russ, I feel like that's been like his situation his whole career.
Yep.
It's always been
Shout
kind of like a
out.
boom and bust, at least with like shooting. But I feel like if you
Hmm.
leave him open, he's kind of making you pay. So maybe
Yep.
that kind of attracts a little bit of defense to kind of make everything else open. But like you said, MPJ, that like I've been harping on that too. Like he got that extension, like they got their ring, but like what has he really improved in? Like same
Yeah.
thing I used to like harp on with JP. Like when he came in, like after the summer, like bro, what are you getting better at? Because you're still getting
Hmm.
burned like defensively, like your handles, you're still kind of wacky with it, like stuff like that. And then like I don't know, maybe
Yeah.
it's
I mean,
this is just me personally. I feel like he is one of the ones that kind of went to like Josh Kroenke because they had their little podcast, right? Like they talked and like they had friendship outside. Like I don't think Jokic is the type of superstar to go to ownership. I don't think Jamal Murray like that had that big of a problem where he couldn't get
yeah.
away with it because his dad's a coach,
Hmm.
right? Russ like he's had it everything. Like he doesn't care. So it's really like between Aaron Gordon and like MPJ. Like if we're really trying to
Yeah.
break it down.
Yeah.
And I
Listen,
feel
got to
like it's,
give also credit in Denver. Christian Braun's
oh my
become a
God.
great player
Yeah.
this year.
Shout out to
The
the boy.
fact that
Hell yeah.
the fact that Cade Cunningham is a most improved player of the year candidate first is absolutely
Yeah.
ridiculous.
The
Everybody
first,
knows what Cade is capable of. They know he's an
right.
all-star. He's a great player. He boosted his averages by like 3 points and 2 assists. Like, okay, we
Like first
know
overall
he's
pick,
doing
bro.
that.
Like, come on.
That's what I mean. Christian Braun or Austin Reeves should have been that third guy in that
Absolutely.
most improved player race.
Absolutely.
And
I mean, yeah. Like,
yeah,
and
definitely, no
I
doubt.
feel like I would say Austin Reeves, like, like Lakers fans calls us Warriors fans like haters and everything, and there is that little bit of rivalry, whatever. But
Yeah.
like
Well, you
Austin
remember
Reeves,
how people were saying, is Stephen A. Smith always brought it up. Is Austin Reeves the best
third
third option in the NBA?
option. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
now he kind of is.
Right.
Like everybody's on board with that because he's been balling out this
Balling
last
out.
half of the year. My
Yeah.
my guy,
And both sides too. Like, it's not.
just want to give a
So
couple
sorry.
shout outs quick.
Yeah.
I keep reading some comments. Austin Gribb, shout out to the Philippines. Courtside Buzz is full of Filipino fans.
Booyah! Shout out.
Massive fan base, especially on Facebook with my Filipino fans, and you guys are all great.
Bay
And
Area is full of Filipinos.
yeah,
Those are all my kuyas.
and they are
Yes, sir.
loyal as hell to
Oh
basketball.
my
Kobe,
God.
everybody.
Yep.
Somebody
Everybody.
asked Roz G 6800, Mikey, do you think the NBA playoffs are boring? Um, no, definitely not. I mean, like we mentioned earlier, okay, the Boston series, whatever,
Yeah,
Cleveland series,
there's a
whatever.
couple series that's always gonna walk
Everything
out.
else has been elite.
Yeah, there's always gonna be some series that that's gonna be not up to taste because like some things happen, but yeah, stuff like that happens.
Yeah,
But there are still a lot of
yeah.
great other series that we can actually focus on, and then like
LA and Minnesota. The Knicks Pistons series has been a lot of fun, and I'm being biased, but it's been a lot of fun.
uh,
It's been good.
okay, let's talk about that one then. Let's see how do you think it kind of turns now it goes to Detroit. First game they kind of like Houston and how Jalen Green came and talked about it, like they got lost in the lights a little bit, kind of chucked
Yeah.
away that lead. Second one they're like, nah, we're gonna handle business, we're gonna take one at least, and then they took it.
Well,
On the third
their
one back in
inexperience,
Detroit,
their inexperience shined through in game
yeah,
one, letting up that 20-0 run at crunch time, man. That's unbelievable.
single-handedly
That's
off it.
something no NBA team should ever do because you're too good to do that in a playoff game where there's timeouts, there's slowing down,
Yeah,
everything. Game two, you got to give credit to Detroit. They closed out better down the stretch than New York did. Mikal Bridges just couldn't hit a damn three. They were turning off Cat. Uh, they were turning off Cat as much as the Knicks weren't really getting him in the mix.
but like
I expect a,
I think 17 minutes, right? That he didn't touch the ball at all, like the
something like
last
that.
17
I
minutes
don't
of the
I don't
game.
know that stat, but he only had like 9 points, and I expect in Game three tonight, Cat's gonna turn it up. They're gonna get him more touches in a pick and roll with Brunson, and yeah, I could see the Knicks taking Game three. Again,
That
credit to Detroit for taking their inexperience in game one and using that as experience for game
yeah.
two. So you got to give them credit.
um, but also I did want to mention like that's literally the only query about like Cat is like at times he gets
Yes.
lost. Like you don't have to like always just follow through. Like I get it. Like that's the ultimate player. Like you were just following the game plan and everything, but at times you have to be assertive. Like no mother, just give me
Mhm.
the damn ball, stay the out, let me go to work. You have to do that, especially in the fourth, at least
And
once.
that's what he was in game one. So I don't know what the shift was in game
Yeah,
two. No Isaiah
yeah.
Stewart. No Isaiah Stewart on the floor
Come on,
should be irresponsible to play how Cat played. You know what I mean?
right?
If I'm being
And
if I'm
like,
being honest.
yeah, and like that's the only thing. Like, see, I love Cat. I love his game. He shoots threes like crazy. But I need it. Like, I want to see more dominance, like in the
Yeah.
paint. Because if he puts more pressure in there, like you do have like guys like Mikal and like Jalen and everybody else outside who can make those threes. Because there's not a lot of like force on the inside. That's unless like
Exactly.
OG slashing, like you know,
Yeah, definitely. And Detroit does play really good help
yeah,
defense on somebody slashing. They got somebody like cutting across like Asar Thompson.
yeah,
Tim Hardaway Jr. is kind of underrated as a defender. I would
hmm
say Tobias Harris too.
yeah,
If they use their IQ to just bump in that lane to turn off the drivers. That's what I've
yeah.
noticed, and they did a great job at that in game two.
Yeah, I mean, like even Cleveland last year, they were pretty like nice defensively,
Yeah,
right? And then like this year, they kind of like improved upon that. That's kind of I would still credit that to like J.B. Bickerstaff, and then like Kenny Atkinson came in, tweaked a little bit
yeah,
more things, and then like they kind of took that next step. But like the base kind of was given by J.B. Bickerstaff last year for that squad in Cleveland to kind of
yeah.
roll with
And
too. So
shout out to Bickerstaff. He's been great in Detroit, and
yeah, I
shout out
think
to
he was
Atkinson, Coach of
finalist,
the
both of
Year.
them. Yeah,
Yeah,
finalist for
Atkinson
yeah
will get it, but well deserved. Long
yeah.
Island zone. Yeah.
There we go. Um, and then let's get into the other series that you mentioned, Lakers and Minnesota. How do you think that's gonna go?
Damn, man,
Good.
that when I
Is that
turned that game on,
is that like last year to Chuck? Bring that ass, boy, to come back.
maybe, yeah, I could see it going 6 or 7 to the Lakers. I give Minnesota credit for really spreading that hose out on that grass. They're firing from all cylinders, especially in game one.
Yeah,
Game
I feel like
two, there's some referees in there, kind of skewing some stuff to the Lakers a little bit. I'm
and
not gonna lie.
LeBron lit
Lakers
him
won.
up.
Lakers won fair and square, but you could see they set the tone.
Yeah,
But it is what it is. We got a tied up series, and I'm just as excited for that series when I tune in as I am for the Knicks.
yeah,
It's LeBron and Luca. Ant is Hollywood
that's right.
himself. Julius Randle is finally not playing like Knicks playoff Julius Randle. You know what I mean? He's been balling,
But I feel
so
okay.
you
See,
gotta give him
that's where
credit.
I feel like the second game, I think he did go back to kind of like that Knicks Julius Randle. He was a little bit erratic, like just kind of like at times. I'm not saying the whole game,
At
but at
times,
times
but
he kind of just
yeah.
like he he got
Still
kind
had
of like poked or
still had
something, whatever
27.
happened.
Still had 27.
Sure, sure. But like, yeah, I think that's actually going to be a really good series. And people forget like the history behind like Minnesota. I think Lakers came from Minneapolis, right? Like,
Yep.
yeah. See, like, if you're really like a basketball historian, like you go back to those days and everything. Like, that's actually a really interesting
Mhm.
matchup in my opinion too. And I
Two
feel like,
two comments back to back. Sorry to cut you
yeah,
off. Cancun underscore and Michael underscore V underscore 7. Both coming up with back to back comments. Houston is mad dirty. Sad for my city.
Uh, nah,
Nah, I don't.
See,
Eh,
I'm here repping for the city too, bro. Like, but I mean, Houston is they play physical. They play more physical
yes.
than like people are accustomed to. If you don't watch them on a usual basis, but like, it's either you match up to their physicality or you dip out, and that's literally what they want
And,
you to do.
and on
So
your side, as a Warriors fan, Draymond's not dipping out.
yeah, I mean, we
So
got bro,
it's going down.
we got bigger dogs. That's literally my whole point. Like, we're undersized, but we got bigger dogs. So like, I ain't
Yeah,
worried about.
I will say Tari Eason was a clown throwing the
Yeah,
towel. There,
to Pat Spencer, who like
that's just
what had he
being
even
like a
done?
20. That's just being a 22-year-old idiot. Like,
That's
all
what I'm
right,
saying.
the game is over, but it's like, dude, like
We
you're
don't.
on the bench. I don't know why are you throwing a towel
Yeah, and I think
in a
Steven Adams
minor
talked to
scrum?
Master about it.
Whatever.
So that's like good leadership that they got like Steven Adams, Van Vliet, Dylan Brooks, that Memphis lost. Like that's what we used to deal with Memphis too. Like the little
hmm
bit of immaturity and everything, but that's kind of transferred over to Houston. But
I gotta tell you, brother, Memphis getting rid of Dylan Brooks was so
oh
dumb,
my god,
so dumb.
oh my god, and then what did what was the Marcus Smart trade? That didn't even work out. I
I forget
forget
what
what
it
they even gave
was,
up.
who they got.
Like it,
I can't think on the spot, but yeah, Smart wasn't contributing as much, but getting rid of Dylan Brooks, that was like when they got rid of Dylan Brooks, it was like peak hate against him. So they felt like
yeah,
pressure to like trade him. But
yeah.
dude, he's so valuable to this Rockets team.
Oh my god.
He's
And it's
improved in the mid range. He's improved from three. He's
yeah,
still a great defender. He's a disruptor.
yeah,
Gets under people's skin.
yeah,
So what does Memphis need right now?
yeah.
They need that. They need somebody to
Literally,
set
the
the
energy,
identity
the
like
energy.
Dylan Brooks.
Yeah, literally the energy of like literally a dog, and not just like a front runner type of dog. Like literally from
Yeah,
the get go, we
yeah,
are gonna, like from the jump. And even if you're losing or winning, like we're gonna be dogs. Like nobody gonna outdog us. Like
exactly.
that's what Houston got, and they got energized into like they were 14 seed I think or 12 seed last year. Now they're second seed this year. Like that's the difference, and I feel like it wasn't that big of a difference. Like maybe he got 100 to 120. Like it was, I guess, between Desmond Bain and him. So I guess they chose Desmond Bain. But
Yeah.
yeah,
To respond to those Rockets fans, another one just chimed in down low. Guys, I hope you're listening because something I want to post to you guys in the comments and, us going back and forth. When is Udoka going to give some burn to Cam Whitmore? Because in game one, when they looked out of sorts, um, out of energy, heads down, Jalen Green and Van Fleet shooting 20% combined, how do you not
but Cam Whitmore.
throw in Cam Whitmore,
Yeah,
who's an easy 15, 20-point guy when he gets some minutes,
hmm
to try to shake it up and see what they got to ride him into game 2 and 3 and
yeah.
4? I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Um. Well, let me go back to the draft. I think he was the 20th pick. Pods was
Yep.
19th.
Yeah.
At that point, like I had seen a couple games here with Pods. Like like I knew like it was still gonna take him a couple years to kind of but his jumper developed a lot faster
Yes.
than I had anticipated. Like his IQ jumped out a lot more like once he actually got to the league and everything. So
He's
like
he's learning from Steph.
yeah, so like like I regret that 19th and 20th pick? No, like Cam Whitmore would have been nice, and that's who I wanted because I just saw him slip. He was like top 10, I think, like guaranteed, and
Yeah.
he just kept on slipping. And then I think it was like Houston's second or third first round pick, and then they just swooped him. I was just like, all right, cool.
I got to say, I think the Warriors' mentality, why they didn't take Whitmore, is because of Kaminga at
Yeah,
the 3.
true,
Whitmore would be off
true.
the bench. Pods is a pretty good, diverse shooting guard
Combo
slash
guard,
point
yeah,
guard who could
yeah,
kind of, play off Steph. I
and
got to give
but we still had Clay
Podziemski
too.
credit. He's improved a lot, like you said,
Yeah,
and big time in the IQ department because he could shoot, he could play make. Everybody knows that, but he was turning the ball
charges, baby,
over.
charges.
He was
Led the
getting
league in
charges too.
charges as a
Exactly,
rookie.
exactly.
Yeah.
David Jung, I appreciate it. Thanks for all the kind words about Courtside Buzz.
But going back to the Whitmore point, I think like they did give him sunburn yesterday, like towards
Mhm.
the end, like to try to get his legs kind of under him and everything. I think they might give him some game time in game three, like if, like you said, like if they're back down, like Fred Van Vliet's kind of dry in that bucket section.
Mhm.
Jalen Green kind of struggles again, kind of like because like yes he had 38, but he also had 7 the first game, so it's
Exactly.
like
Yep.
that the only thing we're missing from Jalen's consistent. Like as soon as that happens, like
Yeah.
he's a bona fide superstar.
And I get it. He said, he's 22, 23 years old. He said
Yeah,
he pulled out the Jared Allen today. I posted on Courtside Buzz that he said the lights were very bright, his legs
yeah,
were shaking, the court looked bigger than it was. Like I get it. That's
yeah.
just
It
performance
happens.
anxiety where you haven't been
Yeah,
somewhere, and
and it's his first
that's
like
all shaken
playoff
out.
game, literally.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
exactly.
J.K. Moody, like they got to like experience final and win a whole ring. Like they got one of those like
Oh yeah,
like unheralded experiences as a rookie. Like just coming in, you don't almost got to do nothing. You win a ring. Like you're a champion
it's
from
just
doing
another
nothing.
game for them.
Right, and
Yeah,
I feel like that's the difference between them too. Like Jalen Green took his deal to like 100 whatever right now, 4 years, and then like he's gonna double back within 2 years as an All NBA and get that 500 million deal. Like that's what I feel like JK should have done, because I feel like he can still get to that. Like he's still
I
only like
agree.
you said like 22, 23. Like by 25, if he still gets a jump shot, like he could still have a 10-year
Yeah.
career where he's a really
Oh
good
yeah,
player.
he's gonna have a 10-year career even if he
You know,
leaves. He's gonna be great.
right,
The tangibles are there, the athleticism's there, everything is there.
right,
Maybe a little, disparity with his mental,
right.
maybe,
Yeah.
but we'll see, we'll see.
Yeah.
Somebody in the comments said Amen Thompson wins Defensive Player of the Year in year 6. Now, why in year 6, I don't know, but he'll win Defensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, I feel like it might be between him and his brother just going at it. Like, hey, one of us gotta bring it, and
Yeah,
they're like,
yeah.
I
And
love
to
their
pivot,
relationship.
they're announcing Defensive Player of the Year
Oh,
tonight. Who do you
oh,
think?
yeah.
Who do you think gets it?
I don't know, cause I feel like okay, so like it doesn't matter who gets all the first team votes, right?
Mhm.
Cause the second and third like votes that could kind of like make it accumulative to like who kind of ends up winning it. So let's say like all the coaches might end up with one guy, but somebody else like kind of averages out between the second and third. They might end up overtaking that first guy, because I've seen that happen before. So like obviously I want you know
Yeah, you want
our
Draymond.
guy. Yeah, I want our guy to get his second one. Obviously, like stamp his legacy. Because if Rudy Gobert gets 4 in history, like come on, people, like
No,
you
no,
can't
no.
be
He's
mad
not
that
getting it.
Draymond Green got 2.
He's not
I'm
even
sorry.
finalist. But I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Like because there's a lot of more outrage. Like, oh, he just hopped on a podcast and like but like I get your point, but it's not just that he's doing that. Like, yes, he's
Yeah, no, I
advocating
get it.
because he had a
Yeah.
platform, but like go back and actually watch his impact too, please.
Listen, he deserves to be a finalist, no doubt about it.
Okay.
He's he's used his mic to talk himself up very smartly. Got to give him
Yeah.
credit for that. Very intelligent of marketing himself and knowing what to say. Blah blah blah. It's Dyson Daniels' award. Let's be let's be totally honest. Let's be totally freaking honest. Just because he plays in Atlanta, if he played with the Lakers, if he played with the Warriors, if he played with the Knicks or Boston or Cleveland or Memphis, a good team, he'd be looking at the next greatest thing since sliced bread. It's just that he's in Atlanta. Nobody watches him. They don't win. Dude, he's breaking records. He's with the most steals since like Chris Paul in '06, clamping up everybody. Come on. Opponent field goal percentage, deflections, tips, blocks. Come on.
That's the funniest thing ever that you brought him up, and then Hawks Talk just joined us right now to probably agree with you and disagree with me. But I do like, I don't know. My thing is reward winning, because last year too, this is where it kind of switches. I thought last year SGA should have won MVP, so this year Jokic would have won his MVP, and like we would have kept it moving. Nobody would have had voters fatigue. None of that
True.
would have happened, and
True.
Jokic would have deservedly, I mean, SJs deserve it too, but same thing for either or. Like both could have their case for MVP. But like I reward winning, and yes, you individually did all of that, but you didn't even get to the playoffs. You're
That's
not
true.
even,
That is
if
true.
you
I
you
know you're
were.
right.
That's why
I
I
know
was
you're
like,
right.
if I was hoping he gets to the 8 seed, like get in as an
Yeah.
8 seed. I hope you get that, so at least I could like muster my way up. Same thing with like Russell Westbrook. The only reason it's like it's so historic, but you're still only like you're still a 6 seed. You're not like out of the playoff.
Yeah.
If
No,
you're out of the playoff, I
you're right.
can't give it to you no matter if it's a triple double.
So why I guaranteed no Shea's winning MVP? Guaranteed. Like you said, he deserved it last year. Gave it to Jokic. Blah blah blah. It's coming to Shea this year, no doubt.
Absolutely.
He's been great. Jokic has put up career highs. They're like on the same
Right.
plane, right, with
They gotta
MVP
start
right now.
creating the new
But
superstars.
with Shea and OKC, their record, it's Shea. It's going to
Yeah.
Shea. Denver,
And that's literally my
Denver
only
slipped a
argument.
little.
Yeah, that's my only argument between them two. Like they're both great players. I don't have arguments against like either or of them. It's their teams. Like
Yeah,
one took literally the youngest team in the league as the best, record. The other one, we kind of had a little falling out.
yeah.
He's still great individually, but like you got to reward something else too. Like when it comes to that little fine margins.
Listen, like LeBron from like '08 to like 2014,
Yeah,
16, he could
16
have won it every year.
every year.
Same with Jokic.
Well, maybe that 14 there. I think KD deserved that
Yeah,
14.
no, he did. But you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
LeBron's
I got
right there. Like,
you. Yeah,
you could give it to him. It's just,
right, right,
there's
right,
other
right.
factors.
Yeah,
There's other
the literally
factors.
the MJ debate. Like every year that he played, like he could have almost won it. Almost like every year
Exactly. Look
the
at
beginning.
when Barkley won it. MJ was right there. When Malone
Yeah,
won it, MJ was right there.
I mean
It's
the two with Steve Nash and not Kobe with like averaging 40 points. Like, what are we doing here? Come on, you know.
Yeah, that's a whole nother debate because I think Nash deserved at least the Shaq one, in my
Uh,
opinion. But yeah,
okay, but like that's what I'm saying. Like two back to back and
yeah,
with
I know,
Shaq and Kobe right there, and
I
I
know.
think Kobe. Yeah, well, we could get into like historical debates and all
Exactly,
that and
exactly.
everything. But like, let's circling back. Like we said, it's been a really fun playoffs. It's not that dull of series everywhere. Like, yeah, there's a couple here and there, but that's what great
That's
teams
the
do. They do make.
first round
Yeah,
always. And hey, listen, conspiracy this, conspiracy that. Adam Silver is a happy man that
yeah.
Nico Harrison gave into that damn trade.
Uh, the you just posted the Fertitta you know
Yeah,
little
yeah.
on the mic too.
Fertitta, the
Yeah,
Rockets on it. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that
That
that was
he called it
hilarious
that
too.
that dumb blank
That dumb
trade. Yeah.
not to say in
So
the same state. They're like literally right there. Oh
yeah,
man, that's
dude, same state. Just look at how these fellow owners feel. They know that was an insane move to make. We're going to be talking about that forever.
I
I could do 1,000 shows with you, and we'd probably talk about it
Nico Harrison
900 times.
is gonna live in infamy, and I feel like it shouldn't be his. Like it's his name that will live in infamy, but I don't. I feel like it's not him. It's like the Dumont family and like
Yeah,
like people kind of getting in their years and all of that.
I
Whatever.
got a ton of criticism for that new ownership group.
Oh my
Mark Cuban
God, everything's
said if he was still there, it wouldn't have happened. Totally believe him through and through.
yeah.
And not NBA Buzz, courtside Buzz fan Mark Cuban. Shout out to him. Great to have him as a follower. Maybe he'll tune in. But
Maybe
yeah,
hopefully.
the Dumont family, they got to get their priorities straight. If they are thinking they're going to come into the NBA in 2025 when fans want basketball and what matters to them is, high IQ, passing, not as many threes here and there, high level defensive
Yeah,
basketball,
like
and
fans
then
are.
and then a whole new regime comes in and they're talking money this, money that,
Yeah.
casino this, relocation maybe. That's turning everybody off, not just Dallas fans. Everybody is getting
Nike
turned.
executive. I don't care about Nike. I care about my team. I care about Luka Doncic. I don't care about Nike. Like like
Yeah,
as fans, we're passionate about like the people that's on the team that we see, and like as a players and like the team itself, like the culture that we are building around it with the energy and like the passion that we give
yeah.
to. Yeah.
Listen, people could come on courtside buzz and say, I mean, I could see people saying this. Maybe they have. Oh, Mikey, you post too much Nico Harrison hate, Harrison stuff, blah blah blah.
Uh,
No, it's whatever he's giving me,
yeah,
whatever he's saying is
that's
the
right.
content I'm posting. Because if you look back, Nico actually follows the page, believe it or not. I used to talk to
Oh,
him in
shit.
DMs every now and then. Yeah, it's
Okay.
pretty funny actually. But when Nico first got there, he made a lot of good moves. He made good moves in the draft. He
Yeah.
got Kyrie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, a lot of good stuff.
Lively
I made
trade,
posts for
Gafford.
Nico when he was making those moves that Nico's the best GM in the NBA. He's
Yeah,
building
I
a
remember
culture.
your
He's building a team.
2023. You had him like I think as your top executive, or if not like in the
Yeah,
running
yeah,
for it
exactly.
too. Yeah.
So it's all about what he's giving me as a content creator and us as the fans. That if he's saying he doesn't know the impact that Luca had on the Mavs fans,
Oh my
how the
god.
hell
Oh
do you
my
say that?
god. Like,
How out of
bro, like,
touch? How out of touch do you have to be as a new ownership group to approve that? And if you're about the money, you keep
oh,
Hollywood with you. You know what I
I'm
mean?
literally, I'm literally crying from laughter, bro. Like, literally just thinking of this situation because
Yeah,
it's so
unbelievable,
funny. Oh my
unbelievable.
god. Like,
There's going to
it's
be documentaries made about that week of the Nico Harrison, Dumont,
oh
um,
yeah,
you know,
it's gonna be like the trade lived
Palinka
in
stuff.
infamy, or like the trade that shocked the world, or something. Like somebody's gonna come up with that for sure within the next 2 years.
And a good
That's
comment
gonna be
down low, ADVXK_S, 100%. The ownership has forced him, Nico, to say these things to act as a fall guy. Yeah, that's some of it. Maybe not all of it, but that's some of it, guaranteed.
yeah. Like they didn't have to go like the behind the closed doors and all that. I feel like I mean it kind of came out that it was like the ownership that kind of told him to do
Yeah.
that too. But like it, it's so baffling to me. It's like going to Chicago and then like kind of try to take down the Michael Jordan
Yeah,
like
dude.
numbers down.
You know, I
Like
mean,
what are you talking about? Like he's the
Look at
only.
Jerry Krause. Look at Jerry Krause. What are you doing? You got Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Phil Jackson saying, "Okay, 98 was the last dance, but if you sign us 3 to 1 year contracts, we're going to
99.
play the 99 season.
Yeah.
So why not go for 7?" How dumb are you to, as Jerry Krause, to not take up that offer? MJ's like 36, 37 at that time. If he wants one more in 1999, you give the greatest player of all time, undoubtedly in that era, another chance.
Just 1 year. Literally, not even like 3 year, 2 year contract. Just
No,
1 year.
do
One
one
more.
year
One
and
last
just
run.
and keep every year seeing how Scotty feels, seeing how MJ feels, seeing how Phil feels,
Yeah.
and sign them to another 1 year contract. If MJ wants to retire, blow it up. But you say no when Michael Jordan's coming off a second three-peat,
That's
killing.
insane behavior.
Oh man, and Krause robbed us of Tim Duncan, David Robinson, and the
Yeah.
Spurs against the Bulls dynasty.
Yeah. That would. Oh my God. Dennis Rodman again. Oh.
Yeah, dude,
That
exactly,
that would that would have been.
exactly. So look at ownership and what these GMs do and how much they could really control and alter
Yeah. Like
everything.
it's littered throughout history. Just look at Jerry Jones. Like simple. Just look at Jerry Jones since
Yeah,
like Jimmy Johnson left. Like come on.
you know,
Same thing.
Jerry Jones's pride has gotten in the way of some things, for better or
Yeah.
worse. You know what I mean? For the Cowboys.
Littered throughout the history. Yeah, man. All right, bro. Thank you so much for your time. I hope I didn't take too much of it. Appreciate you joining us at the beginning of the playoffs. I feel like we should, get back to it maybe some other time if we do
Yeah,
find time,
let's do
you
it.
know. But appreciate everybody else for tuning in as well. Shout out to the boy Mikey again. Hope to see him again soon. Hope to see you guys again soon. I'm gonna catch you guys again. Peace.
Of course, I appreciate it,
Love
brother.
you, bro.
Thank you.